T.C.O.Z. T.C.O.Z. tumblers work for, well, I don't know if he ever released it under the T.C.O.Z. brand, but he built these for Lightning Audio on their Storm series. Lightning Audio was under Rockford's control at the time. Now the brand just got shelved. So, but one of the problems, issues that came from China, because I think T.C.O.Z. sold me about 50 of these with this same problem, and we just had to fucking blow it out with compressed air and everything like that. But this was sent to me by Josh Pastrana, and he was telling me what you guys are paying for these. I was like, you're fucking kidding me. And so I can do better, and I want to do a version for you guys, and we can bring this to market for you. I don't know if I would have gone with this, but I will definitely have something drawn up. I would love to get your input on it. Basically, he used this. It was inverted. We actually had a supply of these that we got from somebody out of San Diego, and sometimes I would mount them like that, and then I would add the bolt pattern and all that kind of stuff. And basically, that's the same version of the 3 HP Ti that he made for Eclipse, a version of it. So, but yeah, I would like to know your input on what you want to see if there's improvements. One of the improvements that I want to do is I would keep the diameter the same, because some of the LA Storm frames actually rely on the initial method of attachment, which was a bolt through the side. Not that I like that, but it's good to have it retro, and it doesn't cost really that much more to make sure that it's retro compatible. The other one was just adding pretty normal bolt patterns, 127 and 135 at least. If we can fit it, I would love to do a 145. 145 has been popular lately. I don't think we can do a 160, but that would be cool as well, or 165. But like the larger patterns. And then you can see, it's just an iron, it's just a mixture. So it's actually just regular ferrite, but they mix, I think it's boron and some other stuff in there, and then they electroplate it. And so I'm going to go ahead and pull all this off. Hopefully it's not, yeah, okay, so we got it hot enough that it lost its charge, which is fine. We have the new magnetizer that we're going to use. But mostly I just wanted to get the measurements off, do a drawing of the way that it is, and then go in there and start making changes on what we can do to either improve it. And I'd love to come out with a version that looks the same, because again, I want to know if people like this motor because of its strength and weight ratio, or is it the look, or whatever it is. I would love to see this motor in home audio. I think it would be really good in home audio or even PA. And we can build or design a motor that, again, it can serve multi-purposes across all different types of applications. So that's the way it comes. I would actually, it's got a little bit of charge left in it, but sorry. I would make sure that this gets extended about at least a 1/4 inch, if not a 1/2 inch up. Again, like I said, put the other bolt hole patterns in there. We would, of course, convert them to M6. These are 1/4-20s. Again, that was T.C.O.Z. And it's not just T.C.O.Z. Lots of companies do that, where they use SAE, what's the standard engineering mechanical or something like that, mechanics, whatever. SAE, I forget what it stands for. A standard American, engineering. Anyways, Imperial. I'm not a fan of it, so, because the world standard is metric. But anyways, we would replace the bolt hole circles with M6 by 1, which is the standard, and then do different patterns. I don't think we have to do anything modular. This is a little weird to make. I imagine it was a 2-piece, meaning you make the pole, and then you, yeah, you can see the seam. I don't know if you can see that. See, so and then you just made it like I think you heat up both pieces and then you bring them together and then you go back and polish this away. I also might look into like a version that's bolted. I've been inspired by Scott's work, Scott Atwell over at Phi, on his N2 motor, which I got done with the epoxy, gluing that heatsink back into place. So the other thing I would like to do for this one is see if we can design a heatsink to add to it so that it's optional. If you look in some of the home audio stuff, and I think some of the PA stuff, they will use Neo, and they'll also add a big heatsink to it, because in a large cabinet like that, you can fit it. Car audio, not so much, because you're going into a door, you're going into a very specific small space. And so again, we would make the heatsink optional. So I think that would be a cool design feature. And all of this would be under the launch of a brand that I developing that would basically do replicas. So we want to do replica work for Serum Vega. Who else is popular? This one. But anything that you guys really, really liked, but the company doesn't make it anymore for whatever reason. And so we would come in and basically design something that is not only retro compatible, but also is an upgrade, or just better even by a little bit. I do like making large, significant upgrades, because like on the Serwin Vega motors, and we're talking about Serwin Vega home audio. It's lackluster. They could have done better, and they didn't. And so I would really love to be able to bring some nice options for you guys for getting those things serviced. Like, you're just going to send it in for a recon, you send it in to us, and not only do we upgrade the soft parts, but then we have other options available for you. I think that would be kind of a cool feature to have. As far as the badging goes, we would have to work through that. I would love to do an agreement with the new owners of Serwin Vega, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Sometimes they're friendly, sometimes they're like, you're invading our turf, and you're like, oh, okay. But mostly they just don't service their old clients because they want you to buy their new cheaper Chinesium stuff. So I just saw a launch from, it was an initial product, I think it was some bookshelf speakers from Serwin Vega. And again, it's like the reboot of like Onkyo, Yamaha, and a lot of those brands where they find where even China is outsourcing to Africa. and then the Chinese are racist as fuck, so they're just like, send it to Africa. Like, we don't want to do that shit work, and so they'll send it to Africa. But I would love your guys' input on this particular motor and this particular project, and let me know what some of your ideas are. Thanks a lot for watching. I love you guys. Happy New Year.